to a form of moral insanity, and they don't go around eating grass like a cow, and they don't let their hair grow out like a bird, but what they do is begin to behave like animals. Let me say it again. People who are turned over to a debased mind begin to behave like animals. They begin to behave like beasts. If you don't believe me, look at the way sex is treated among teenagers. It's like bestial. Look at the way personal pleasure, it's all a matter of, it's hedonism. It's going off of what we want to call instinct. It's living like beasts. And not as men who have moral faculties. Turn with me to Psalm 8 real quick. I'll show you something. Psalm 8. We looked at this a few weeks ago studying Hebrews, but I want to show it to you tonight. So I want to show you something that it references. Psalm 8 verse 3. Psalm 8 verse 3. Psalmist says, when I look at your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is man that you're mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you care for him? Yet you have made him a little lower than the heavenly beings, and crowned him with glory and honor. You have given him dominion over the works of your hands. You have put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, and also the beasts of the field, the birds of the heavens, and the fish of the sea, whatever passes along the paths of the sea. Here's what I want you to note from the passage. Man was made, according to this passage, a little lower than the angels. But he is made at the same time higher than the beasts. Right? It says right there in verse 5, yet you made him a little lower than the heavenly beings, crowned him with glory and honor. You've given him dominion over the works of your hands, put all things under his feet, and it begins to talk about sheep and oxen and beasts of the field. So he's made lower than the angels, higher than the beasts. Thomas Aquinas, one of the historians of in history rather, one of the teachers of the church, Thomas Aquinas said this about this passage. He said it shows us that man is a mediating being. What is a mediating being? It means he's in the middle. Angels are spirits only. Beasts are flesh only. But a man, as a mediating creature, has both. We have a spirit and we have flesh. Here's the point. Though man is described here as a mediating being, he is described first as being somewhat lower than the angels, and because our purpose is to look up. Our purpose is to be looking upward, even beyond the angels, and attempt to conform our lives to the truly glorious heavenly being, which is God. That's our goal, is to be like Christ. Our goal is to be like God. Our goal is to conform our lives to Him. However, so often we choose to look down. So often we choose to look at the animals and become beast-like. The old adage goes like this: man shares the spirit of the angel and the flesh of the animal. When he lives by the spirit, he is most like the angel. When he lives by the flesh, he is most like the beast. And aren't we told, live by the spirit and not by the flesh? Here's the truly disturbing part. Within the past generation, and for those of you who have been alive to see one or two generations go by, you'll know that what I'm about to say is very accurate. Within the past generation, we have been moving fast forward towards being a bestial society. In fact, today it is being taught that man is nothing more than an evolved animal, and all his appetites for debauchery are nothing more than a part of his evolutionary makeup. It's just the way we are. Don't be surprised. That's just the way you're just an animal. And you know what I've learned? If you tell children they're animals, they will act like that. They will live up to what you teach them. And if you teach them that they are grown-up apes, do not be surprised if they hang from your chandeliers. One recent science journal described a family of ducks that engaged themselves in a type of gang rape. Within the article, it was attempting to make the comparison between this behavior in the animal world and in the human world. Basically, what it said in the end was, it left the reader with this idea. It said, in some way, gang rape must be normal because ducks do it. If ducks do it, and well, we're just a higher evolution of the species. If ducks do this thing, why not humans? Another story was in Newsweek. This one, Newsweek had a picture of a baboon. Here's what it said. Over the baboon, it says, biologists say infanticide is as normal as the sex drive, and that most animals, including man, practice it. I'll read it again. Biologists say infanticide, killing babies. Biologists say infanticide is as normal as the sex drive, and that most animals